Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy. No, I'm coming at y'all, peeps. And real quick, uh, some Detroit Pistons talk. Let's get into it, man. I gotta say, right now, with the way we so far have done with free agency, to Andre going on Twitter, making the comments that he made, which we all kind of real Pistons fans kind of know. Quick little response to King. I feel everything he said in his video about what Andre said. Now, it goes back to what I was saying about the whole locker room thing. I said you had to know, and this is back when KCP was on the team, you had to know these guys would be together when he was around. You know, it had to be shooting the breeze, saying how much he annoyed the hell out of him, man. Because Stan Van Gundy is really a old man as far as a head coach. He's truly an old man. He's wants to be fussy over the smallest little thing. Need to go eat some soup somewhere and sit down kind of head coach. That's what he is. His development in players are horrible. Even veteran players develop under him horribly. You know, Reggie Jackson is one of those players. Uh, I can't quite explain it. I'm gonna get the facts together, but in the future video I might even explain why he may even have somewhat slightly to do with Reggie Jackson getting injured the first year in 2016. I'm gonna share some. How I know it sounds way out of whack. Like I said, don't beat on it too much around. I could be way off, but I might have some believe that he helped force that injury in the first place more than it should have probably came sooner. It's way too sooner than it should have probably happened in 2016, and then 2017 is pretty much you could blame him. Some of it I believe is his play scheming why Reggie Jackson got hurt. Let me just keep it like that. Uh, Overall, too, in 2017. Anyway, Andre came on Twitter, man, said, basically pointed out how Stan Van Gundy just abused his talent, punishing him for little small stuff. In lesser words, he said a lot of stuff, basically, man. Again, if you want to know more detail, if you didn't hear on Twitter, you don't have a Twitter account, go on Twitter, follow Andre Drummond, or you can go watch Everything King's video where he breaks it right down to you. But let's get on to the other part of the Pistons talk, man. Let's get into how the reasons why I feel like the Pistons signed Jose Caldron and Zaza Pachulia. I believe the entire reason why the Pistons signed them and so far has not gotten rid of Ish Smith in any form of trade or released him or anything like that. The reason behind this may be it's because the Pistons need thresholds. Yes, I said the Pistons need something for these guys that are already on the team, or these rookies specifically, Bruce Brown, Luke Kennard, Kyrie Thompson. They need somebody that can push them. They're there. I think Jose is there for more of a player coach. I mean, because Dwayne Casey has to know that you can't really expect to have Jose Caldron as a third point guard. And, I mean, you paying this guy $2.some million to do what a rookie can do. You got to be there for a player coach and to really give these guys a push. He's experienced enough to be able to do so as a guard. You know what I'm saying? He's good enough to push these more talented rookies that we got between Brown, Thompson, and even second-year player Kennard, who was, by the way, for you statisticians that hate the Pistons all the time, Luke Kennard was actually one of our better all-around shooters last year, as a side note. Back to my point. Yeah, so they're there. He's there to really push these guys and bring the better out of them and see if they can really kick them off the roster. Same can basically be said for Ish Smith. I will say this: if these two rookies really showed that they can come in here and just change and stuff, like just really take this team to another level, even though they're rookies, because we've seen good rookie play even in the playoffs last year. With Jason Tatum, one of the few specific ones. Hell, even Stanley Johnson in 2015, when he won the playoffs, man, it could have been the whole LeBron James thing, but he played very good in the playoffs, man. So my point is, but I still feel regardless if these two rookies come out, we need to keep Reggie Jackson, especially if he's healthy this year, because it's something to me he could add to a playoff team is a little bit more to me than what the rookies can do. I feel like if we get the Reggie Jackson we had in 2015 in the playoffs, that was, going neck and neck with a team that ran through the whole East and won the finals in 7 games, I think the Pistons have a very good chance to win a series in the playoffs and maybe even progress further than that. Because let's be honest, if they stay healthy, they're going to the playoffs. Uh, One person that this could affect is Reggie Bullock. This guy came and monsterly started shooting the hell out the ball last year. My thing is with Reggie Bullock, if the young players develop, man, specifically Luke Kennard, who did I think play behind him a lot of times. If this guy, him or even Kyrie Thompson or Bruce Brown, they prove that they can come in and show a level of consistency or play just about as evenly as matched as him. I mean, I'm not saying off the rip at the end of training camp and preseason, just go ahead and release Reggie Bullock and we'll cut him. I'm just saying, if it comes down the line where you start getting later and later by the trade deadline, you may have to consider trading Reggie Bullock. If you see something on the market for you that's valuable, only if it's something valuable on the market, because obviously he's not a long-term deal. I like how he's coming back to fruition and finding his old self, but I mean, at some point you got to wonder if that if you can get more just as much out the young players as you can with him right now. Not to take anything away from him. And then this leads me right into the situation with Henry Ellison and John Lure, and why we brought Zaza to the team, I think more specifically. Because I think that was the Pistons' way of saying, can we get the best out of John Lure and Henry Ellison? There's a good potential chance that these two could be the starting backup power forward and center for this team. And that John Lure, as a certain DV member I just mentioned, King, has stated that if under Dwayne Casey, there could be a possible ability where John Lure, one, could possibly resurface as his old self that we thought we were getting when we signed him. And for a minute, looked like the player a little bit when we did sign him. He did play decent. But just get on later that season, he was garbage, and don't even get me started on last year. And so my thing is, with Henry Ellison, first off, major big move, having him and Andre meeting up with Kevin Garnett. Henry Ellison, three-point shot, I see it. He has it. The guy can put up offense. You just have to, I think the Dwayne Casey thing is with him, and I think the right philosophy is to say, hey, shoot it up. Do what you're naturally good at, and we're going to make sure you work on your defense. I don't think Henry Ellison has to come in trying to do too much. When you have when you got some reliable players on the front team. The whole purpose of this team right now is to specifically fix that bench so they can keep Blake Griffin and Reggie Jackson healthy. You keep that going. If the Pistons can wear you down with the bench, you ain't going to want to see a healthy, full starting lineup. Especially if Glenn Robinson is on the bench and Stanley is starting. If Glenn freaking Robinson is on the bench and he's proven that he's something to be dealt with, you're talking about some major problems for teams in the East. I don't care how you can have Kawhi Leonard on every freaking team. We ain't just go roll over and die. You know what I mean? The Pistons just not go roll over and die, man. If you don't have no faith in the team right now, man, you crazy. So Zaza may make the team, maybe not. I think it's Jared for a roster battle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's look at John Lure for a second. If John Lure would have signed with the Golden State Warriors back in 2016 offseason or 2017, whenever he joined with the Golden State Warriors, if he had been a part of that team, don't you think Golden State would get more production out of John Lure compared to Zaza Pachulia? John Lure would at least offer at least a couple of threes, some jump shots in the paint, a few free throws, and that ugly-ass layup of his. So he will give you about 15 points off the bench. Easy. Under their coaching staff and their development system of crapping up players, John Lure would have been a much better player in the Golden State Warriors than Zaza. So that's another thing I want y'all to get to understand. And even Henry Ellison, too, it being already a well-known shooter, if he was drafted by the Golden State Warriors, he would have a much better career than he's had dealing with the Detroit Pistons under Stan Van Gundy. So with that being said, everybody, go ahead. If you're real Pistons fans, be diligent. And for the fake ones that want to pull up stats about other players we could have drafted or this and that and the third, for those who say Andre Drummond is trash when this guy is the only serious center out the big names that I ever seen that try to fix his flaws and work hard. And off as a side note, and I think King would agree with me because he was hinting towards this last year. If Stan Van Gundy would have got restated here to stay here for another few years, I think before long, let's say due time, I think he'll be pulling the Kyrie Irving. He'll be down there requesting a trade because it felt like he didn't want to be here for a minute last year. And I was wondering, like, damn, do he want to get traded for real this time? Like, shit. I mean, excuse my French, but, that's why I'm glad that he's gone, too, because we don't need to lose Andre. One of the hardest working players on the team. He's Stanley Johnson, Reggie Jackson, three of the hardest working players on the team, man. We do not need to lose these guys for no unnecessary reason. I don't want to hear no more about no money. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear no more about who's a bum and who's this. That's not fair when you got an incompetent coaching staff. So everybody, hold your panties out of a bunch. Support your team if you really with them. And if you ain't go support the Pistons, then don't bash them. I think that's fair. If you don't want to deal with the Pistons, then don't bash them. Then if they're doing bad, you right. Then you had your point. Why you gotta keep bashing them down? You know what you know. Don't bash it. Don't ruin it for the next guy who actually understands the game. And that's my piece to everybody. It's your boy Noam. If you like anything I had to say today, give me a like, give me a comment, shoot the breeze with me. Subscribe if you will, and subscribe to everybody else. It's specifically Everything King for putting that video out. Subscribe up to him. He don't got enough subs yet, so I'm asking y'all. And again, if I haven't said it in my shout out video again, congratulations. You're on your way to 3,100. I know you said you got a video come out soon, King, so congratulations to you, my brother. Keep doing your thing. Keep working hard. Don't overwork yourself, as I always say. Too much stuff in life to enjoy. And blessings to you and your family and everybody else in DV, man. Shout out and peace. Later.